Hello everyone and welcome back to Fright City. My name is Adam and today we are at day 2 of Halloween Horror Nights and it's a little bit bright out here, so we're doing Scream Early. So what that is you pay a separate ticket of about $60 and then you go into the park with said Scream Early ticket, but you have to have a Halloween Horror Nights special ticket that you would use to get in during regular hours, and you would get that by getting this at a registration line over by Minions and also by Lombard's in San Francisco. And you can get into the park at 3 o'clock anytime between 3 and 5. Cutoff is 5, otherwise you won't be allowed back in. And then you can just ride rides, start getting in food booths, start getting in lines for haunts, and basically just roam the park and chill, get a couple extra hours in. So we're gonna be leaving a little early tonight because we got Epic Universe tomorrow. And so yeah, I mean, perfect opportunity to go in and do Scream Early for the first time. So far, I'm liking this new system. Never did the old system before, but so far I like the freedom that this presents. So yeah, I'm about to go to Camp Crystal Lake and get an elote finally, and then we're gonna get in line for a house, probably like 6. First of 30 runs that I'm gonna do tonight. Man, it's like I'm doing one of those HHN construction videos that I've watched literally all summer long. And look, there's Mel's, but it's actually Mel's drive-in right now for about 2.5 more hours. Or no, 3.5 more hours. I don't know, I can't do math. Oh look, there's just truss work just hanging up there. See, just living the life right now. Yeah, probably not. Yeah, this is what I'm at. And that, yeah, I think so. So I just came from the Crystal Lake one, and of course, you know I got to have it, so let's see how this is. Okay. If you love corn and you love Flamin' Hot Cheeto Dust, this is pretty awesome. Pretty messy, but yeah, pretty awesome. Ooh. What, you didn't think I wasn't gonna grab this next? Come on. Alright, now let's see what's good over in Freddy Fazbear Land. Just finished with Hawaii's. Lovely as always, but for some reason the Alexa Bliss character is still missing. Literally has not been in any run except for my first of the Power Hour trio from last night. And then, yeah. Like I said, it's still quite a while before the park even opens. We're about to knock out our favorite and one of the biggest and most busiest ones here yet. So let's do this. Thank you.
Oh yes.
Nom, nom, nom. So I definitely meant to get the Angry Orchard pumpkin at the Jason booth. But then I ended up at the Wyatt Six house again with no Angry Orchard. I don't know how that happens. Yeah, after that, ran Terrifier, Wet Path of course. The water was a little more heavy and definitely colder. Then finished out the night with El Artista and did Jason Universe. And now you might be wondering where I'm at right now. I'm at La Café de Sorin. And yeah, your boy got it. Did it potentially cost me an opportunity to ride Mario Kart? Yes. Is it probably going to be worth it? Absolutely.
What my great-grandfather started. They called Henry a monster. They were afraid of what he had done. But you will see. There's nothing to fear. Show them. Lower the lights, quickly. Now. These people are friends. See? There's nothing to be afraid of. He is amazing. Better than the original. He's the key.
Bringing me the bodies.
got to try this here Sloppy Joe for Huskus. Wow. That is very, very good. I'll let this in.
What? Too stressful for the occasion. It's Wednesday night, it's HHN 34. The dead are alive, the fun is here, and thanks for shopping back. Shop, 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 shop. Hey, the brain stays just fine. Shop, 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 shop. There you go, brother. You got it, man. Thank you so very much.
Alright guys, hope you enjoyed watching all the little clips from the rest of my week there at Universal Halloween Horror Nights. Such an incredible time. So as you saw from the last video, when I counted down my top scare zones, now it's time for the houses. This is going to be the big one. It should probably be a separate video because it might get a little bit long. But you know what would help me stop blabbing and actually just go ahead and tell you. So my number 10 is going to be Grave of Flesh. Now this one, I think I had higher hopes for than most people did. And yeah, the story was cool. I really liked the plot, the summary of it. The little podcast that they released to sort of give more background for it was awesome. But then the story that they told in the podcast only really applied for like the first section or two, because the rest of that did not understand. You know, if it was just like some separate haunted house that you pay 20-30 bucks for, and you just go in and it's just random scenes of people trying to scare you and all that, then you know, it'd be fine. It'd be great. But here in Halloween Horror Nights fandom, we expect our narratives to actually be comprehensible and actually understand everything that's going on while we're getting scared. So, you know, it's like these monsters eat your corpse in person, but then does that mean your soul gets somehow dragged with them back to their little underworld, which may either be, it's either also under deep in the earth, or it's on the afterlife. It was, see, I'm confused all over again. So yeah, Grave of Flesh, like I said, would have been fine as just like some random haunted house, but as far as HHN standards go, yeah, it didn't do it. Number 9, Gulkin, Monsters of the North. Yes, I know I tried to be Mr. Smarty Pants and, you know, look up how to properly pronounce Gulkin, which I still think is supposed to be Galln because the K is supposed to be silent and the KN is supposed to be said as knock. But, you know, AI told me that, so it might be wrong. Don't come for me. But either which way, pronunciation aside, it was a good house. I really enjoyed it. The only reason why it's down this low is because all the ones that we're going to be talking about from here are freaking incredible, honestly. You know, I mean, I guess it's been long enough and the event's over so I can spoil this, but you know, as you're walking in, you see these runes that the story says, because Gulkin actually tells a very comprehensible story of which everything is understandable. Put up these runes to try to protect the village from the beast and all of the little monsters that she summons after they already murder her because she sacrificed livestock and children, I think. See, but it's great because the runes that are hanging right up there are literally the stick figures from the Blair Witch franchise. Like, it's the actual freaking, yeah. So, yeah. If you know me, one of my favorite horror movies, if not probably my absolute favorite horror movie, is The Blair Witch Project. So, yeah. Your boy definitely popped for that one. And the story itself is very similar. The only difference is the beast in Galkin actually like killed livestock and children, while I think in the Blair Witch mythology, Ellie Kedward was only like accused of witchcraft, but I think she was more of a doctor and then, or like a spiritual healer, something along those lines, and then the townspeople killed her, and then the evil that was already in the woods messed them up. Anyway, that's probably a different video for a different time. So yeah, Galkin was super awesome, especially at the very end, going into literally the belly of the beast. That was an insane experience. I didn't know what I was expecting from that, but it was really good. So my number 8 would be Jason Universe. Yeah, this one was amongst, from people that I've heard, a lot more mixed. My first run with it was absolutely incredible. I hit all the scares. I really loved that Jason gauntlet because you're really this closed in with different Jasons coming at you. You know, just, you know, reminiscent of what it's compared to, which is the Red Devil from the Insidious house the previous year. So I had an incredible first run. From then on, like I said, maybe it's me, maybe it's else, but I just, every single time, almost every single time, because I think I had like 1 or 2 more runs good and close to that. But it just didn't really hit like that again. I kept missing scares and everything. Like I said, it's cool. I mean, the Friday the 13th franchise and Jason himself, like, I mean, I really like those movies and all that anyway. I'm just not like huge on it. He's definitely not my favorite slasher, but I do hold him in high regard. And so it's a good house, but, and when it hits, it hits. But yeah, it didn't hit most of the time, so it dropped. My number 7 house, 6 and 7 was tough ones because they were so good, and I'm so wasn't sure which I liked better, but I'm gonna try to hold biases aside, even though I'm gonna let my bias flag fly after these. But my number 7 house is gonna be Hatchet and Chains. Now, Slaughter Cinema 2, definitely my second favorite house of last year. Hatchet and Chains is wonderful. This whole house was wonderful. But like I said, it's just how it's hitting. I had a lot of fun in it, but it didn't reach number 6, which was Dolls Let's Play Dead. Now, Dolls, I didn't have a lot of expectations for this, but wow. Lila is definitely a monster worth reckoning with. Oh my goodness, a lot of the dolls in there that were all messed up by her was wow. But also the smells in there were so unique and stronger than any of the other houses. And it had 3 guest activated triggers which caused stuff, so there was even more fun to be had. And it's particularly the smells and the guest activated triggers, or GATs if you hear if you're nasty, that really, give that house the edge over Hatchet and Chains. So both of them are wonderful houses that I went through multiple times, absolutely love. But again, this being just such a stacked house is just, yeah. Number 5, Five Nights at Freddy's. I think I had this a little bit higher on my list, but recent events have just made it so that it just had to slide a little bit. And you know what? I'm not going to apologize for it. But those animatronics were unbelievable. The sets were unbelievable. I've never played any of the games. I've watched the movie. I'm in the middle of watching the movie again because as I'm recording this, the second movie is coming out this weekend, so we'll hear about that. But it was the first house that we went to as soon as we got to HHN, and yeah, there's just something about it, especially seeing the animatronic band up there playing, talking in your sleep. Wow, it just hit me in such a way that I wasn't expecting it to hit me. It was really, really cool. So yeah, Five Nights at Freddy's. Oh, at number 5, of course. And then my number 4 house, Fallout. Now I know a lot of you are probably thinking it's like, this mug put Fallout this high above Dolls, above FNAF. Like, is he on crack? No. But I do really love the show. And like I said, as of recent events being, I've been playing the hell out of Fallout 4 and Fallout New Vegas over the last few weeks. Getting ready for season 2 and all that. And I started playing Fallout 4 during the week that we were here at Universal. Damn, I think I'm obsessed with this franchise now. So yeah, very, very excited for season 2 up here, which will be 2 weeks from today as I'm filming this. And yeah, like I said, now that I've had those experiences and I understand this world a lot more, I love that house a lot more. So my number 3, and this was really tough, but that just means number 2 was just that good. But my number 3, Terrifier. Yeah, I know. Maybe it should be number 2, but I'm going to stick with number 3 just because this number 2 was just so good that I can't place it any lower. But I'd also definitely can't put it number 1 because my number 1, you already know. But Terrifier, oh man, that was so much fun. All the characters who were playing Art just did such a phenomenal job on that. Like, hats off to all of those team members, every character in there, every person who decked that place in blood and all the nasty scents and everything. And yes, I went through the wet path every time and I soaked it all in, and it was brilliant. But of course there were some times where I didn't see my girl Sienna in there, and so yeah, that's fine. That's just my bad timing. Apparently that's a little theme in there, but still absolutely love that house. Plus, during my last run in that house on my last night, I was wearing this shirt, and one of the little pale girl's characters came up and saw me, and she pointed at my shirt and she went, So that was incredible. Hats off to that character. That was just a little bit more extra for the character, for adding to the immersion and just staying true to everything. And yeah, phenomenal. I'm not surprised that they're that phenomenal, but just having that little moment by happenstance was super, super cool. My number 2 house is El Artista, Spanish Haunting. Oh yeah, what can I say about this? That, as I said, this is like sort of the tentpole house that the whole rest of the event was built off of. That house was beautiful. All the ghost effects, every single little trick that they did between the ghost girl behind the mirror. to the gargoyles swinging on the line, to actually being in the conservatory. I want that black cat painting that they had, and just the whole story that they came up with for it was just incredible. But it was definitely a very, very breathtaking haunted house, and the level of immersion that they set in there, even having a little journal filled with Sergio's writings down there on the bench and out by the facade, that was wild. And then of course adding to it when you walk around in the park and you can hear Sergio talking about this, that, and the other thing, which is probably more a origins of horror thing than an El Artista thing, but it's, I mean, whatever. It's all connected. That's the thing. That connectivity is back. So yeah, I had to put El Artista like right up there because I couldn't put it for number one, but I couldn't put it any lower than other houses. Then my number one house, yep, you already know. If you've watched these videos and seen me go nuts and talk about the lead up to the event, you already know WWE presents The Horrors of the Wyatt Six. What else can what can I say that hasn't already been said? It's all parts of Bray Wyatt's vision literally come to life in the Great Haunted House. Like, this isn't just Wyatt Six, it's not just Wyatt family, it's not just Bray Wyatt, it's everything. And even the original worlds that they created for the individual members, like that slaughterhouse for Huskus and the little nest for Mercy the Buzzard and the Alice in Wonderland thing that they had for Ramblin' Rabbit, with all the little WWE Easter eggs in there, and then having the Wyatt family compound house thing to actually having like the fireflies be actual demons coming at you, to the TV room where Uncle Howdy and the Fiend just jump out at you from right over there. There were a couple times where they got right at me with just the most serendipitous timing, and then just seeing the Fiend at the end, and then the rocking chair with the lantern on it, like, so much emotion behind it. It was just, and it was brilliant. If ever there was to be one wrestling haunted house that I go through my entire life, I would want that to be it, and I'm glad it was it. It was just perfect. And also going through the Firefly Funhouse part of it with the Alexa Bliss characters was definitely just so happy to see that. And then it was insane because one of the nights that we were there, I think early on in the event, it might have been right before we went through it, but the real life Alexa Bliss actually went in there and she played herself in that house.
Hey, it's WWE superstar Alexa Bliss. I'm so excited to be here at Halloween Horror Nights at Universal Orlando to scare some guests here at WWE The Horrors of the Wyatt Six. And we are done. I had so much fun portraying Alexa Bliss in WWE The Horrors of the Wyatt Six, getting to be in the Firefly Funhouse one more time, especially with Bray Wyatt, hearing his voice. It was an honor. Thank you so much.
So yeah, it was just an unbelievable experience. Like, these houses were so good. The top houses were just absolutely brilliant. Like, it was really hard for me to just like come home and then start hitting up the regular haunted houses after that in our usual haunted house circuit. I mean, no disrespect to any of them, but Halloween Horror Nights just brought it in all aspects this year. It was crazy. Because last year was a bit of a down year, and they had just finally opened up Epic Universe earlier this year. And so, I was expecting, a bit of an improvement, but I really wasn't expecting them to start firing on all cylinders until next year, or 2026, HHN 35, because that's the anniversary year where everybody's expecting like them go balls to the wall, very possibly the return of Jack the Clown, and possibly it being the confrontation between him and Dr. Oddfellow, as was teased in the El Artista house towards the end of the event. And I think it might have been only on the last day. And yeah, so I was expecting all this for HHN 35. So if they're already doing it for 34, what's 35 gonna be like, man? Sign me up. Please just take all my money for the Russia Fear Plus Express, Cabana Bay. Here's my reservation money. Anything else? Here's more money. And let's go. I'm ready for September now. Except it's October. It's not October, wish. But no. So it's December, so hopefully it'll be here before we know it, with announcements and spec maps and everything, but I'm ready. And to think, in just like 5 months, we'll probably start seeing Halloween stuff popping back up at home and maybe some other stores. So yeah, we're sort of quiet now, but we might get back up there. And so that's it for my HHN videos. And you saw my Halloween shopping in November videos. So things might be a little quiet for a while, but I'll try to hopefully make videos going through the speculation and ramping up the preseason going into Halloween Horror Nights, and hopefully maybe even still some shopping videos should they happen earlier. Anyways, if you've been watching this long, thank you very much. My name's Adam. I've been very happy to be doing all these spooky things and doing all this spooky shopping for you this year in 2025. It was definitely a wonderful ride, even though it mostly happened in the summer. But hey, I'm all for spooky summers because it doesn't get cold here until after Halloween anyway, so whatever. With all that said, thank you for joining me on Fog and Fear and Butterbeer. Have fun and stay spooky.